All right, guys, today we are here with Mike Sullivan and Chase Rasmussen. As many of your lives have been disrupted, we wanted to talk about an organization that has been disrupted and that really needs our help. Full disclosure, it's an organization near and dear to my heart. I have worked with them for a while, and both Mike and Chase are good friends of mine. So we got Chase Rasmussen. Hi, Chase.
What's up, guys?
And Mike Sullivan. So let's jump right into it. Let's first talk about what this organization actually is. Chase, tell us who you are and then give us a brief breakdown of what this organization is.
Sure. I'm Chase Rasmussen. I am a member of the board for Welcome to America Project and serve as the secretary. And Welcome to America Project is an organization that helps resettle refugees that come here to the United States and that are assigned to Arizona. So when refugees go through the vetting process while in a refugee camp, they then go through a vetting process with the United States and are assigned a state to live in. And so when they come to the Phoenix area, the organizations that are in charge of placing them come to us to help give them resources to set them up. Then after they get set up with new refugees coming here, we continue to reach out to them to make sure that they're moving forward with life and that they have the resources necessary to go to school, to find jobs, and to be able to live their new life here in their new country.
Where are the majority of these refugees coming from, would you say?
A lot of them are coming from African countries like the Congo and Somalia, and then others are coming from Afghanistan, who were helping the military that have connections to our U.S. military, Syria and places like that that are war-torn with civil wars or other issues like that. And again, refugees are people who are forced to leave their country either because of religious persecution or some other issue, and they didn't want to leave their country, but they have been, and they've been living out of their country and are now given this right to live here.
Okay. And I want to help everyone understand, when you say you help get them settled in, what do they come here with? Do they have anything? Give a little breakdown on that.
Nothing. So when they get approved to come to the United States, they are given a interest-free loan for a plane ticket to come to the United States. And when they come here, they've got whatever they can pack in a suitcase, basically. And so they come here with nothing. They have to pay back their loan for the plane ticket to get here. And then they have to start working on finding a job, learning English, to start paying rent, to pay their utilities. We help them get into an apartment and furnish it with beds and couches and TVs and computers and bikes and these type of things. But ultimately, they got to be self-sufficient really quick. And so we're just here to help them, give them the footing to get going.
Awesome. And I know, because I've been on these deliveries, something as simple as a couch or a little bike for a kid makes their whole day. It's awesome seeing their faces light up because, like you said, they literally have nothing, which is why I love this organization. It's awesome to see people who have nothing and how appreciative they are of what this organization does. So anything else you want to add, Chase?
No, I mean, again, I feel the same way. Michael, you and I have done lots of deliveries together, and this organization is such a great group. Again, it's almost all of the people are volunteers. They're people who keep a very tight ship, and the resources that are given go to the refugees. And you and I have seen it firsthand of how it does get to them.
Yep, absolutely. Cool. Thank you, Chase. All right, so now let's go over to Mike. Mike, tell us who you are and then what you do with the organization, and then also tell us how, with all this coronavirus stuff going on, how you guys have been negatively impacted and what we as a community can do to help you guys out.
Got it. And first, Michael, thanks for the opportunity to be on this video, and also for the many ways that you're helpful to us and to the entire community. You're a terrific servant.
Thank you.
So the Welcome to America Project, so what we normally do is that we welcome newly arrived families, and we'll share some resources to help families to become self-sufficient. What a lot of people don't know about refugees, one is that they don't pick us, we pick them. They fled consequences in a country, usually it's war or some form of persecution, and the United States has said, you know what, you can live here. It's a long, long vetting process, but this is the end of or the beginning of a new journey, but the end of a treacherous one filled with uncertainty. So United States chooses them to come here. When they arrive, they need to be self-sufficient within 6 months. So those are two anchors that I like people to know, is that we've invited families to live here for safety, and but in turn they need to be on their own in 6 months. So I think all of us understand what disruption feels like, because we're experiencing it right now.
Yep.
Now imagine that going on for 15 years or more, and imagine at the end of that disruption you end up in a country where you don't speak the language, you might not know anybody there, you know that you're safe, but you have to provide for your family in short order. So those are who refugees are. And so what we do, we go out, we welcome, and we share resources. But your question was about what's happened with COVID. So the two things have happened. One is that the borders are closed to new arrivals. They'll be coming in the future, but in the immediate, for safety reasons, the borders are closed. Those that are here are incredibly vulnerable during a time like this, because when the economy gets hit, the hourly workers, the people at the frontline jobs, the people in places like restaurants and at the airports, they're the ones that are going to be hit the hardest, and these are the refugees. And so the immediate needs in the refugee community are some things to help them maintain traction. And so, but does that answer your question? I have some specifics that I'll share, Mike, but I wanted to make sure that you kind of knew who refugees were and who we serve.
Yep. And one thing, Mike, real quick, I don't want to get off on a tangent, but you talked about disruption, and now imagine that for 15 years. So if I'm not mistaken, these refugees can wait in a refugee camp, which is living in a tent, for up to 10, 15, 20 years. Is that correct?
Correct. And these are, communities of a couple 100,000 people all living in tents. And it's not because that's what they want to do or that they want to live off some sort of handouts. It's the exact opposite. They wish things got better where they live, but it's too dangerous to go back. And so they're very hopeful that another country will take them in, and the United States is one of those countries. And
Awesome.
So, they'll arrive here under the circumstances that Chase mentioned, and that's where we get a chance to go out and welcome the family.
Awesome. So it's important to note, because a lot of people think refugees, freeloaders, they're coming in here to just live off the system. That is 100% not the case. They've gone through a lot. And if they had their choice, they would be back living peacefully in their own country.
Right. And the other thing about that too is, I think if you, Michael, were the member of your family, if you went to go live someplace else and your family was left behind, you would do everything that you could to kind of put points on the board and be a solid citizen, so you'd have a chance to have your family move there. That's
Right.
The same sort of motivations we experience in the refugee community. They recognize the opportunity, but with the COVID virus, suddenly the path that they were on, the jobs that they held, no longer exist. And so one of the things that we've launched is a program where we call it Share a Meal with a Refugee. Now, we're not going to be sharing meals with refugees for all of the reasons associated with social distance, but if we can help refugees money to go a little bit further during a time where they have limited or no income, I think that's a kind thing to do. And so what we've done is there's a few stores that are close to where the refugee community is. Food City is one, Walmart is another, and Fry's is the third store, and just a $20 gift card. That'll feed a family for a full day. And if you think about that, I propose that you even talk about it when you're having your own meals with your family is, by the way, we're not eating alone tonight. We're eating with the refugee family. That refugee family could have come from Africa. They could have had 3 members of their family working to try to make a living here, and all 3 of them are out of work.
Mm-hmm.
And so they just need a little help now, and so we're going to share. Just like our whole life, people have shared with us. They don't have that same community. This would be not that different, Michael, than if you went to the Democratic Republic of Congo yourself, didn't know anybody, and people from the village said, you know what, let's help Michael a little bit. Let's help him get a start. That's all we're asking. And so what people can do is send the gift cards to the Welcome to America project. I can share the address here now, Michael, or maybe you can add it to the screen later.
Yep, I'll link it down below later. So is there a way, do you want the gift card sent directly to you guys? Is there a way to just donate money and have you guys buy the gift cards, or what do you prefer?
Yeah, so there's 2 things. Is one that they can go to our website, which is WTAP.org, and there's a donate button that's pretty prominent. And they can donate money. If they do a $20 denominations, then we'll know that it's for the meals. And then the other thing they can do is, if they choose to, they can purchase the gift cards themselves and mail them to the Welcome to America project. And we'll do all sorts of things to make sure that Lysol and whatever else is required to make sure that the cards themselves are quarantined. But those are either physically they can send it or a donation. And you really are sharing a meal with a refugee. That's what, with a refugee family. Not that different from your own families.
Right.
This is temporary assistance so that we can help who are going to be tomorrow's contributors to just kind of get that little bit of traction that they need during what's a very, very rough time here in the United States.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. So you heard it, $20. If you're still in a job and you have money, $20, you won't even miss it. And as you can see, it's growing to a great cause. So it's Welcome to America Project, WTAP.org. They also have an Instagram. What's the Instagram called?
Yeah, so Welcome to America Project. And that's a great way, Michael. It's the experience itself. You can see how you guys light up when you talk about it. And but to see the pictures, that does a lot more than any words that I can share. It's a very, very human connection. People meeting people, turning fear into hope. And so I do encourage people to either go to our Facebook or to our Instagram so they can see those photos and see what it looks like.
Absolutely. I agree. I love going on the Instagram feed and seeing the faces, because it's true, when we're on those deliveries, just to see their faces light up, and like I said, how appreciative they are and just how kind they are. Honestly, they're the kindest people that I ever have met, and I love it. It makes my whole Saturday. And Chase, you've said it before too, it makes your whole Saturday when you get to go and share.
So one thing too, Michael, I want to point out too, so if others are interested in getting involved in the future, the group is a 501c3 organization. And so that if you make a donation, that money is a tax credit, not a deduction, but an Arizona state tax credit that you can get credit for up to $400 per person, or $800 for a family filing jointly on their tax returns.
Okay. And can that be, do you have the information on that on your website to make those donations?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Perfect.
That's on the website. Yeah, we're going to be welcoming for a long time. This is a temporary setback, and so we're going to be sharing some meals, and then we're going to be welcoming families again.
Awesome. Awesome. All right, guys. So please, please, please help this great organization, help our community. And if you have any questions, I'll link all the links that we talked about below, and please come and help. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Chase.
All right. Thanks for
Thank you,
being
Michael.
wonderful.
Yep.
We'll see you.
Bye.